Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So on today's video we are going to talk about the new weapon that was added in the game for Jaqen Hajar, and this is going to be the gift of the Nameless. It's going to be an infantry focused weapon with infantry attack and infantry health on its base attributes, and of course with what weapon we had on Grey Worm, now we have it on Jaqen, which is going to be for the random attributes. You can actually get base infantry attack, base infantry defense and base infantry health, which is actually one of the best stats overall that you can get in any weapon. Right now only Grey Worm and Jaqen has it, but I assume at some point we're going to see Brienne also getting a weapon like this. So what does this weapon actually bring to the table? Let me open it from here so we can see the stats better. So at 0 stars the weapon is going to give you 30% chance for 1 extra hit, 35% chance for 2 extra hits, and 35% for 3 extra hits, I'm sorry. So 1 additional hit, 2 and 3. So the total is going to be 2 hits, 3 hits and 4 hits respectively, with the coefficient going to 30% and the passive ability for every 15 normal attacks you're going to defeat 8% of the target's troops amount. So as this weapon is going to increase per star level, you're going to see that for the start the coefficient is going to increase, with the percentage of defeated troops also increasing, and on first and second star realistically the only big difference is the coefficient increase on the 2 star, and from 0 star up to 2 stars you're going to get 1% for each level for the immediately defeat troops in the battle. But where it gets interesting is at 3 stars and at 4 stars. So at 3 stars you're going to get a slight change on the percentages right here. So it's gonna go from 25, 40 and 35%. You're going to get a 25, 35% and 40% on the last level, meaning now the tide is going to be closer to getting 3 more attacks. And as you're going to get on the 4th level, which is really nice, the percentages are going to change even more now, with removing 5% from the 1 extra hit and getting it to the 2 extra hits. So what does that mean in reality? With the coefficient increase and the passive ability increase, is going to be that Jaqen now actually going to deal more sustained damage, meaning he's going to get more and more additional hits. When we started with this we were getting more 1 extra hit or 2 extra hit at best, but now with his 4-star weapon we're going to see a very big increase in the 2 additional hits, and most importantly in the 3 additional hits. What is also important to note is that the overall coefficient is going to go up to 10% more, up to 40%. So when you're doing like 3 extra attacks, it's going to give you essentially 1 extra full attack and something extra a bit more. So overall it's going to make Jaqen damage to be substantially bigger, and because the bleed formation is of course tied entirely with the additional hits. For example, if you consider a Daron weapon, Daron overall, and with his weapon of course, with the increase of the damage here, more normal attacks means more procs for Daron, more critical hits mean more shield from Vorian, and overall a very big increase in damage. But of course, apart from that, personally I think the most important thing that is added for this weapon and the overall stats for infantry is, as you're going to see here on my weapon, you're going to see the increase in base attack, base defense and base health. I was actually lucky enough to get a max base attack on this weapon with about 100,000 reforged ores, and the rest of the stats were about another 70,000. So overall I got a pretty good base for the weapon. The base attack and the base shield are actually very good. The base cavalry reduction and damage against infantry is gonna be at 10% at max, but at 8 is pretty much very nice. And the infantry base defense that I have right now is at 5, which of course it can be increased a little bit further if I'm going to be lucky. So overall this weapon is actually really nice, and it's going to smooth out, let's say, the damage output of the infantry, making it essentially more strong than they were before. His weapon is not increasing his damage by an insane amount, but overall, especially if you have max weapons for Vorian and Tyron, is going to increase your overall damage by a lot. So I think that pretty much covers the gift of the Nameless, the weapon for Jaqen. This is a much awaited weapon, and now only Brienne is left to see what she's going to get soon, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.
And always hesitating, kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire, set my heart afire.